Hey there, I have a message for you. Did you know I have hundreds of detailed tutorials showing on a step-by-step in how to cut and style all types of hair in my app? Plus, you can be part of a private community where you can ask all your questions directed to me and, of course, connect with barbers all over the world. If you want to become a barber with a high performance and make six-figure a year, join us. The link is on the description on this video. Welcome back to the Modern Barber Blueprint course. And today I have Mr. Robert. He's gonna show me something on his phone. Robert, talk to me. How do you like? Show me something.
I was gonna get a middle cut.
Okay. The taper fade.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do, that tape right here, we're gonna add some texture and the hair is gonna fall natural and part in here. The length, we're gonna keep the same one that you showed me first, right? Can you turn? Yeah, same length, right? Falling around here on your eyebrows here. Cool, we're just gonna trim. Nice, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm gonna do a taper, like a low to mid taper here, back as well. And as you can see, his hair parts right on the center, natural. We're gonna use that in our favor. Very, very straight hair here, guys. We're gonna work with this. Since his forehead is a little bit pronounced, he chose a good style because the hair now is gonna fall here. It's gonna cover. It's gonna give him more harmony and balance. So the idea, we're not gonna cut too much, but of course, we're gonna cut a little bit of this head. It's gonna go all the way to the tip of his eyebrow. We need to remove density around the parallel ridge and the crown. There's very, very dense hair. So we're gonna add some texture and also we're going to remove some weight from this area. But I'm not gonna focus in removing weight from here because his hair here is lighter. It doesn't have that much density. I'm just gonna do some point cutting. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's do it and follow the steps. Guys, now I already identified his face shape, his hair type, which is a straight hair. His face shape is more like, can you look at me again? Okay, it's more like an oval face shape. And then we don't have beard here to work with, but in the hair we're gonna do something more square. I'm gonna take like a flat layers on the sides. Okay, here a little bit, so we can maintain here more square. We're gonna leave the fringe disconnect a little bit, and always his hair is gonna fall. Whenever he wakes up, his hair is gonna always fall in its natural fall like this, and it's gonna part here. So let's do it. Always starting wetting out the hair. So since we have a lot of hair, I'm gonna start using my vent brush, making the hair damp so I can start mapping out the hair with my sections. I identifying his hair type, hair texture, and hair density. Guys, I'm going to apply a little bit of grooming as always, as you saw it. And the groom is gonna give me more, like, maintain the hair a little bit damp, because since now I have a lot to cut with my shears, the hair is gonna keep moisture for longer with the grooming. The grooming also has a little bit of hold once I finish cutting his hair. Also, if I blow dry, the hair is gonna stay in place. It has a memory, meaning that the hold is gonna hold in place. And also I have more precise cutting lines when I have the groom and the hair is wet like this. And also when I'm sectioning the hair, I have more control of my sections and control of the hair and control of my cutting lines, and more precise, and I will have more precise cutting lines. So that's why I'll use the groom. So guys, his hair, when he came, I look at his hair in the most natural form. The hair is falling down here and is creating a round shape, which is not gonna look good for his face shape. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to do a diagonal back, okay? And diagonal back is going to help me to create a little bit of graduation around the base here, the parallel ridge crown. A little bit of graduation, but also I'm going to get a little bit of more like a square shape on the sides. Instead, I cut everything in 0 degree, pulling the head down. Otherwise, and also if instead cutting round shape with the convex layers, I'm gonna cut diagonal back, and I'm going to still maintain my square, but a little bit with graduation. I'm gonna start mapping out the hair. I'm gonna section his hair on the center here, because I'm going to take a huge I'm going to divide here in I'm going to separate his hair. What I'm going to do, a big square panel, and I'm going to find out where the contours of the head start turning, and I'm going to do a square panel. His hair natural parts right here. So this is another way in how you start sectioning out the hair. Put it down. See, I'm not even sweeping my comb, because here his hair natural grows to the side, and that's how I took my big panel, square panel. I'm gonna bring everything in to my hands, and I'm gonna tie the hair. I'm gonna clip the hair up here so I can start working. Now you can see I took a big square panel here, square, and now what I'm gonna take is one triangle, saving my crown. Okay, saving the crown. And how do I take this triangle? I just grab from where the lines from my square panel, square separation panel, from this side and from this side, and I kind of connect both in here in the back. I'm taking two sections, so one square and one small triangle, saving the crown. Okay, now I'm going to start doing my diagonal back. So now I'm start taking my subsections, which is going to be in diagonal, very low here. I'm gonna cut very short against his scalp. I'm gonna cut very short, just where I'm going to taper his hair. So now the third section is the last one that I'm going to cut short. Okay, is the last one. You know why? Because now all my next section I'm going to bring down to my third. I'm over directing my fourth to my third, my fifth to my fourth, and then I'm continue cutting like this, because what I want to maintain the length from here low. That's going to be my base, and the hair is going to connect everything here, but the fringe will be disconnected, but everything else will be connected to here. So now let me finishing my fourth section. I'm cutting very tight back here because here we're gonna taper as well, lower in his nape. So my fifth comes to my fourth. I'm over directing now. This is my fourth section because this hair I'm going to leave long. One big sweep, bring your section to my fourth, to my fifth now. I don't want the hair very heavy. What I'm doing is lifting the hair with a little bit of elevation. But now I'm going to stop elevating right here at my fifth section. I'm going to start bringing everything to my fifth section, but elevated. Now, I'm over direct everything to my fifth section, but elevated. Okay? So my number six section came to my fifth. Number 7 come to my fifth, but elevated. See, when I bring the hair down to my fifth section, I'm kind of grooming to my fingers, and I'm kind of over direct everything to here. When I'm cutting, I'm over direct my section that is under here, which is my fifth, and I'm following that length. That's why I'm checking, and my comb come from the bottom. As you can see now, the hair in my last section will be the 8th, right on the center, on the triangle here. When the line crosses his head, that was my last section, and I'm bringing everything to my 5th, elevated, but at the same time maintaining my length. So now maintaining my length from the 5th, but at the same time over directing everything down here. Look, that's why I'm going to taper here, I'm going to taper here. When you create more a graduation using diagonal back, that's perfect, that will fit tapering, because when you cut flat layers, when you taper, it's gonna see a line and it's gonna be hard for you and more work. So this side is done. So now I'm gonna work on this side. Remember, you need to do same height, same length, be consistent in height, be consistent in length. So my first section, very tight, very small. Second, very short. Because we're gonna taper here anyways, we're gonna debulk with 3. So that's my third. This is the last one. I'm keeping short. So now my 4th is gonna come down to my 3rd, and I'm gonna maintain this length. So my 5th, I'm bringing down to my 4th and lifting, maintain the length from my 1st, but at the same time over directing here. maintain the length from my fourth, but when I'm over direct, the hair is going to be long. And here, I'm following the round shape, and I'm connecting all my guidelines to the one on the center here. So now my fifth, my sixth, number 6 section, I'm elevating to my fifth, lifting, checking out for my length, my guide. Crossing all my sections. The bottom is going to be short and the top here is going to be longer. My sixth, come down to my fifth, and that's, I'm over direct everything to my fifth now. Same thing I did on the other side. A beautiful hair like this, we need to know how to use the principles of hair cutting, so we don't just come with a buzzer and kill this hair, this beautiful hair. So this beautiful hair, it deserves you work with your shears, because then you can control, you're not gonna cut much, you can control the shape, the style, the length. So that's why I love to use shears. Now I over direct my number 7 to my fifth, elevated, number 7 to my fifth, elevated, and 8 right here in the center. 8, I'm bringing back to my fifth, elevated, and go around. I'm connect everything here in the center, as you can see, nothing else. There's nothing. See? Now the hair from here, since I over direct all to my fifth, now I maintain my length and maintain graduation. It's gonna give me more like square shape. So before I cut the top, I'm going to fade his hair, and then we're gonna cut the whole top, okay? So now guys, I'm going to use a high pressure, medium heat. I'm going to push this hair backwards, downwards and backwards. That's how it's gonna be styled. And the fringe is gonna fall right here on his face, forehead. And I'm gonna start taping right after I blow dry. High pressure. Now you notice the hair from here was, everything was over directed to here, so now that's why it looks like this. Looks more graduated and more length. I'm gonna dry the hair 100%. That's how it looks when you dry. It looks like graduation. and dry 100% so I can start my fading. Legal. Cool. Always I debulk, but at this time I'm debulking with number 3 so I can start fading. Number 3, open behind the ears, a little bit closed, open and close. Now number 3 closed. I'm going to maintain dark here with a little bit of length. So 0. Trimmer. My foil. I debulk with 3, did 0 and below. So now I'm gonna teach you guys how to do a different way and how you do a different way of doing taper. So I did 3 to debulk, now 2 closed. I'm just gonna work with my phase number 2. When I say my blending down phase from everything from 3 to 0. 2 was 2, now 1.5, all closed but working a free hand. You need to keep it in mind that you're working more with a free hand now because I'm working with my guards closed. But of course, if I want to go high, I open up a little bit. So 1.5 closed, 1 open. Without making any guidelines, just doing all blending down. Blending down 3 from 3, number 3 to 0. So 1 closed now. I start with 1 open, 1 halfway closed and 1 closed. Now half open. I'm connecting all guards. I'm closing my lever now, little by little, and my fade is almost complete. This is a way of working faster, but at the same time more precise. So now 0, open, intermediate, and closed. Remember, my first graduation line 0 and below was with 0. So now my taper is done, but of course I need work on some details. But now my fade is done here. So now I'm going to work on some details and also in my outline. The reason why I cut short in diagonal back in the first 3 sections is because here I would debulk anyway with 3. So now my outline is done there, and I'm already going to do my outline behind here, the ears. This side is almost done. So remember guys, just the detail now with my shears. If you have difficulty in cutting behind the ears with shears, all you do, pull the ear down, use the thumb, leave the thumb free, groom the head down all the way to the line, hold the ears, and then bring it down the hair outside the hairline and cut it. Okay, now I'm gonna groom back, and I'm just gonna trim and connect. Just finish the last detail. You see how clean it's coming out? So now here I'm going to use my blending shears to keep blending. I need just to be careful because his hair is very light already, and I don't need to use my barbering comb because the hair here is long, so my regular comb will do the work. Now I'm picking up the hair, making the hair follow more on its natural fall, more light in here, but I have to be careful in how I use the shears. Now you see how it's coming out, very clean. So let's work on his taper back here. As you can see how it's connected, how the hair is nice and soft and really connected here with the graduation. And here, the same, connects the same back here. So now I'm debulking with 3. I'm gonna focus him back in his nape. Debulk 100%. In this case, what I'm doing, I'm creating a half a moon, but reverse, not reverse, upside down, like this. A moon, half moon this way, because I want to keep this dark based on the picture he showed me. Zero, I'm gonna mark very low, following the same shape. Trimmer. My foils. Work on my blending down phase, number 2 close. Tapping number 3, scooping out, almost like going straight up, but you have to scoop out a little bit. And the angle of my clipper is always going to be flat here and angle down this way, because I want to maintain this dark, and here the same. If you want to go higher, open up a little bit and just kiss your number 3 just to keep connecting the guards. 1.5 closed. I'm gonna work in slow motion so you guys can see it. Open up, connect. This is one way of in how you taper hair. There's tons of ways. Just find out the one is more comfortable for you. We are focused in blend this line right here, and then we're gonna move on with our shears and work on the line that is higher above. So my previous guard was 1.5, now 1. 1 open. Working a little slower so you guys can see. Closing my lever. One closed all the way. One open on this side. Closing. Closed. Always groom the hair with your fading brush or your comb and put the hair on the same direction, actually on the opposite direction your clipper is gonna come. So that way you can cut every single strand. Half open. Closing my lever. This is a very easy way in fading and doing taper fades, because you create only one guideline and that's it, just a 0 and below, and then you work on the second phase, which is blending down everything from the higher guard that you use to debulk to the lowest guard or no guard, like this case with the 0. Now this side, closing my lever. Zero, open. With the 0 open, you can already work with the corners, and you can close little by little to finish, like blend the line. So 0 close, you focus on lower here on the line, and always open a little bit and go higher and focus on details now. 0 open. I'm working with the corner deep. I'm gonna center back the nape. Closing my lever. Working with shears for me is much better because I have totally control in how much hair I'm gonna cut it. Working here really close where I stop with my number 3. I'm using my barbering comb side from my regular comb. You guys noticing even my comb is in the same angle of that I use my clippers. I'm only going to switch angle here in case the hair grow in a different direction and I need to grab the hair with my comb. That's the only reason I would switch angles here. See how I cut close to the skin using my comb. Put it down. Since I'm already here, I'm working some point cutting technique. It's coming out beautiful. Using my blending shears. Put it down. Get higher, the hair is longer, I switch to the barbering comb. When I get higher, I switch to my regular comb, side, as you can see how smooth it connects both sides. Number 3 to debulk. A little bit behind the ears. Number 3 closed. And I repeat the same process. And I'm gonna do both sides and back the same thing. 0. Trimmer. Shaver. phase 2, second phase is blending down everything. 2 closed, 1.5 closed. Just open a little bit to connect the guard. 1 open, because 1 open is just because the 1 is already too short and I can't risk go with the 1 closed already. I start with the 1 open. And all the way down to closed. Half open. Same reason, I start with half open, closing down my lever, all the way down to lever closed. 0 open, closing my lever, and the fade is done. It literally takes you 5 minutes or less to do each side and back. So guys, here still working on my hairline. See, my hairline I'm going to maintain natural, the one that is coming straight down here. I'm not gonna push the line deep just to show more and be pronounced. I'm just gonna maintain very natural. So same thing here on this side. Round around, I'm going to round off around the ears, but here maintaining nice and flat and straight, and maintain its natural way. Just follow the natural line of the hairline. So here I'm already going to apply a little bit of point cutting technique, lifting the hair up, taking sections. Removing some weight. Before I move to the top, I'm gonna finish the sides 100%. Lift the hair with the shears, with the comb. Lift the hair with the comb and cut it under. Just be careful, because sometimes you can cut too much. You always keep moving your shears around both sides. I'm not cutting any length. I'm just removing some weight, adding some point cutting technique to add some texture, making his hair lighter. Beautiful connection, look. Now working on with my straight razor, just to make sure my outline is going to be crisp. I always work with my straight razor against the grain. I'm going to release the crown. You see? We're going to release and we're going to cut connecting here. So we're going to cut connecting everything the same way with diagonal back, bringing everything down to my 5th section. Everything over directed, but a little bit elevated. So here, bring it elevated to my 5th. Elevated. I can cut using point cutting, because that way it will give me a better transition. One last one, over directed to here. So now this side will be over directed to my 5th here. Elevated. So now I'm releasing the top. Since I have groom here, I don't have to make his hair wet, just a little bit damp. From my line here, where I took my square panel, I'm gonna take one profile guide, that's my profile guide, okay? But now at the same time, I'm going to use the length from the back. Over direct everything to the top, and I'm going to cut it. So over direct the hair from the crown straight up here, and now I took my length, chose my length, cutting here, flat, straight, in square shape. So now I'm going to keep cutting my profile. This is my shape and this is my length. Now I'm gonna groom my profile to one side and I'm going to take subsections vertically. My profile guy is in the center and I cut it straight. Vertically, subsections, cutting following my profile guide on the center. Nothing to do with connection yet. This is all length. I'm cutting the top length. Small sections. So now I'm going to take my profile guide and move my profile to the other side and start taking my vertical sections on the other side. My profile guide is right here on the center. Cut it straight, groom backwards, working with the small sections. Work clean sections, clean result. When you work with sectioning the hair, you work clean, you work more organized. So now the beauty of the connection, but remember, I'm not connecting a little bit of my fringe. I'm gonna take one triangle and separating my fringe from the rest. The rest I will be connect, but not my fringe. A little more. So now I groom backwards. As you can see, I saw a lot of disconnection here. And I'm going to connect the hair all the way down here. Diagonal back. But remember, when I stop, I started over directing in my third section when I was doing diagonal back here on the sides. The hair here is going to be really well connected, as you can see, and the fringe is going to be disconnected. Same thing here. Diagonal back, take your sections, bring to your third section. Bring everything down here to my third section. And I'm connecting diagonal. over direct everything. So my fringe, I already cut the length on top here, but I'm going to bring it down. Since my fringe is gonna be disconnected, I'm gonna cut. I want the hair a little bit below the eyebrows. His hair is not curly or wavy, it's not going to react too much. So the idea here is to maintain the length, just trim. Elevating a little bit, do some point cutting. So now I groom the hair everything backwards, and the hair will part natural here somewhere, and then his hair is gonna fall natural right here on his eyebrows, and he's gonna look like a David Beckham. So guys, I didn't apply any product in his hair. I want his hair natural. I want his hair fall like light. I didn't even apply in the beginning, meant like something like paste or pomade, but in this case here, I'm using a diffuser that is has a nozzle that is wider. That's gonna give me a more natural look, more like a hair disperse and more natural. And I'm going to use not much pressure, like a medium pressure, medium heat, and look how I do it. Check this out. I'm going to blow dry the center where the hair parts itself natural. Give it some lift right here in the center. Now the hair will give me a little lift here, and here I'm just going to give a little bit pressure, not pressure, but because this nozzle doesn't give much pressure, but connection, more connection here. So now what I'm doing here, guys, his hair is gonna part natural there. Getting the fringe and twisting the fringe a little bit, because the fringe is gonna come and connect here like really well. Both sides the same. I'm drying the sides and back 100%, but here I already create my volume. But once I blow dry here, the hair is gonna fall very natural and part right on the center. Look. and I'm bringing down the hair, the fringe to here. All I'm doing is kind of twisting the fringe. Now without the nozzle, just gonna dry his hair 100%. The back part here, the top and back, but natural, with no nozzle, no nozzle. Guys, I dried the hair 100%. The hair parts itself natural here. Look, when I'm grooming back with my vent brush, the hair will part natural right here. And then I groom both sides, and I'm using my imagination here, everything, and the hair will fall natural right here. Now it's time to style his hair. I'm going to apply a little bit of paste, just a little, because I want his hair light. I'm going to apply a little bit of paste. I want his hair light, so I just applying a little bit. This is the finalization. That's the final detail here. I'm going to use my hands, my palm of my hands on the back and crown, but on the top, just the tip of my finger. So I grab all the hair, all the stubborns, and the hair is parting natural here somewhere. See? And here the fringe is following in his face, following in his eyebrow tip, the eyebrow. So now I'm finishing with the comb and vent brush here. I'm gonna finish with the vent brush. Look, once I groom everything, it's gonna up natural here. I'm going to use 2 combs to work with this hair. So one wide comb, this wide with wide tooth comb, and a comb that is kind of my regular comb, both sides. My regular comb. It did come out back here. Using wide tooth comb. Guys, I want to show you the final result back here. First, as you can see, it's well connected, graduated. The hair from the top is follow on top of my section, diagonal section number 3, and back here is following in my number 5, my number 5th, you know, because it's higher, and connecting here back here, so everything is well connected. Let me show you. Looking from the sides, you can see the fringe is follows right on his eyebrow here. The taper is done 100%, as you can see, nice and done. When you look straight, the hair part itself natural here, and you can always organize his hair with his own hands. Now the hair is very light. Final result. Alright guys, this is it. You saw it, a mid-tape fade, everything diagonal back. Let me break it down this for you guys. I took a square panel on the top, separated and clip it, square panel here, and then I did a little triangle on the crown, separating, and I start cutting everything, okay, diagonal back. That's what I did. Then I blow dry the sides, 100%, then I start fading. So today, what I did on my taper fade was I did one graduation line, which is 0 and below, and then I jumped to my second phase, which was blending down. So since I debulk with 3, and I create my first graduation line, 0 and below, and then I went 3, 2, 1.5, 1, all the way down to 0. So it was quick, clean, as you can see. You can do like 5 minutes in each side. In 15 minutes you finish the whole sides. So that's what I did. So when it came to the top, I released the crown and I pull everything to my 5th section, back down here, back here, and I connect the crown, everything here. And then I took one profile guide in the center of the head and I follow round in the crown, and then I cut nice and square on the top. Okay, I took my profile square shape, pulled to my line, chose my length, and then I took vertical sections here on the side, following my profile here on the center. Did the both sides the same on top, and then I separate the fringe, clip it, clip the fringe. I did want the fringe disconnected, and then I connect everything, pulling everything to number 3 here. I connect everything to my number 3 subsection. When I start cutting on the sides, that's where I brought the hair from the top all the way to here, because the hair now is long and a little bit heavy. It's gonna sit here on his fringe, as you can see. So that was my connection. That was my haircut. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your support. I believe we grow together. Education is the key. Education open doors. And thank you for watching once again. Thank you for support, and I'll see you guys on the next class.